So we've now left episode 3 with Claire's husband Frank dying in a bad car crash. Now, just a thought about this. Claire doesn't seem to be overly disturbed by this. And I think it's because she now knows that she's free to run back to her husband Jamie. I'm actually wandering around on the grounds here of Gosford House. I think I'm lost, I'm not sure. But you're allowed to walk on the grounds here. You pay your £1 at the little local shop, and that gives you access to the property. Now the actual main building itself is shut to tourists most of the year. They're only open on special occasions and by special bookings, and then you can get access inside the property itself. Now, as well as Claire's husband dying, the other dramatic part in the end of episode 3 is Jamie is getting carted off by Lord John Grey when the prison shuts down. And for the first 3 days of the journey, he doesn't actually tell him where he's taking him. But it ends up that he's taking him to Helswater. Now, I've definitely taken the wrong road here. This is a massive estate. And even although I've got a map, I think I've definitely come down the wrong road. Now, at first, Jamie doesn't understand what John Grey has done for him. But it dawns on him very quickly when he sees Hellwater and how lucky he actually is. And he asks John Grey why did he bring him here? And John says that he still owes him his gratitude for saving his life. I've just had another look at the map. I am so far off course here, it's not funny. I think it's going to take me about another 30 minutes to backtrack my way. I'm walking a bit faster, but the gate's shut at 5 o'clock. And since it's about 4 o'clock now, I better hurry or I won't even get my car out the car park here. Now, the scenes for Hellwater was actually shot at 2 different locations. One is Hopetoun House and the other one is Gosford House. Now, of course, the famous image and the teaser of this episode is the carriage coming into Hellwater. Now, that's actually shot at Hopetoun House. And as I said, they've used both properties to do this scene. And Gosford House was also used for the horse stables scenes where Jamie is working as a groomsman for this family. Now, both these properties, Hopetoun House and Gosford House, was used previously in previous episodes for the French scenes, sword fight scene and various other scenes. Now, just a word of advice if you're coming next year to view either of these properties. Just remember that Hopetoun House itself is only open from March till October, and Gosford House is shut for most of the time, and you need special access to get in there, which needs to be pre-booked. Now, if you think you're coming to Gosford House to take photographs inside, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you're not allowed to take photographs in Gosford House. In Hopetoun House, you're allowed to, there's no problem there. And I'm going to have to cut right across this estate here because I'm never going to make it back in time. Now, there's a very large ornamental lake on this property, and during summer they get large blooms of algae growing in this lake. That was just a warning sign telling you do not touch it because it can irritate your skin. Okay, I seem to be back on track now again. I've actually been walking the perimeter of this estate by mistake. You are here. So I need to walk around this lake, and then I'll make my way to the stables where some of the scenes were shot, and then walk around to the house. This lake has even got its own boathouse. I think I'm going to backtrack so that I can get a better photograph of this. Now this is a very unique little building. I believe this is the curling house. Now I believe I'm just behind the stables where the stable scenes were shot. So I'm going to see if I can try and get around the front of it. One thing you must realize that people still actually live here on this estate. So most of the building is shut. You can't just wander around as you wish. Oh, that's the rain on. It just started. Now one thing you've got to realize about coming to Scotland for holiday. You are definitely not coming for the weather. Well, no, it depends actually what sports you're doing. But even in summer, it can rain, hail, snow, tropical weather, all in the same day. So be prepared. Even if you know you're coming in the height of September. The other thing to be prepared for here is the midges, the Scottish midge. These things will eat you alive, I guarantee you. So when you visit many countries in the world, they have mosquitoes. Well, we have a Scottish midge, trust me. These things are way more potent than mosquitoes. And I'm just coming into view of the main house here. It's absolutely stunning. This is an absolutely stunning house. Now, I didn't actually realize you can get so close. For anybody that's already seen this episode, before viewing this, you'll recognize these stairs immediately, with all the servants standing on the steps. Now, I didn't actually realize how close I was going to be able to get to Gosford House itself. But yeah, I think as long as you're respectful, don't bother anybody. Don't go into any private areas and don't climb over any fences and walls, you'll be fine. So this is where some of the stable scenes were shot. Now people actually live here, so I can't go in. Now, I've unfortunately run out of time. It's coming up for 5 o'clock and I need to get my car at the car park, otherwise it will get locked in. So this is an old mausoleum on the property. So I believe this is an old ice house. They used to collect ice from the pond in the winter. So folks, you can see why Jamie has such a good life here. This is absolutely stunning property. In fact, he was offered to have his sentence reduced to leave the estate, but he actually declined. Now Jamie gets himself really involved in this particular family. So this particular episode revolves around the ongoings of this particular family.